I was drawn to the tabla when I was about 1.5 years old. All the wonderful things of life was introduced to me by him. And he was a gift, I think, from the Almighty to Indian music. And with Zakir Bhai, it was life lessons. He's immortal, and just being in his presence was a talim. I think it was one of the game changers in my life. That was the longest ad people watched on TV. I was drawn to the tabla when I was about 1.5 years old. He has not only been a guru and a father figure to me for over 4 decades. So I feel deeply blessed to have been in such close association with him.
A man globally regarded as the ambassador of Indian classical music, a gift of India to the world. Zakir Hussain was born on March 9, 1951, to a family of musical excellence. Zakir Hussain was the eldest son of legendary tabla player Ustad Rakha and a child prodigy by all accounts. Some of his unique and historic collaborations include Shakti, Remember Shakti, Masters of Percussion, Planet Drum, and Global Drum Project, with Mickey Hart and Tabla Beat Science, among others. Today, I'm being joined by, I should refer to him as a student, Mr. Aditya Kalyanpur. Mr. Aditya is also a Tabla Maestro. Sir, I'm sure people would recognize you. The ad, the legendary, the iconic Taj Mahal tea ad in the 1990s, the highlight of the 1990s, and possibly one of the most iconic ads the a lot of generations still remember. So you met Zakir Hussain for that ad, or did you guys know each other previously also? You were 8 at the time, if I'm not wrong.
Right. So first of all, namaste, Shubh bhai, to all of you, and thank you for having me speak with you about my guru and the legendary Ustad Zakir Hussain, whom I called Zakir Bhai, and he has not only been a guru and a father figure to me for over 4 decades. So I feel deeply blessed to have been in such close association with him. To answer your question, I was studying tabla with his father, Ustad Rakha Khan Sahab, the legend, since I was a child. And during that course, I happened to meet Zakir Bhai, who was performing at Mood Indigo IIT, Mumbai. And that's when I first met him. And Ustad Allah Rakha, he and the great Al Shankar, the violinist, were performing there together. So I was attending the concert along with Ustad Allah Rakha, and then that's when I was introduced to Zakir by Abbaji. We called him Abbaji, Ustad Allah Rakha. So that's my first introduction to him. But the TV commercial happened much later, 3 4 years later, into my talim training under Ustad Allah Rakha. I was recommended for the advertisement by Ustad Allah Rakha because the ad company was looking for someone who could not only look presentable on the screen but also play a little bit of tabla. And the recommendation coming from Ustad Allah Rakha meant there was no more audition for me, which meant I was doing pretty well, as a child performer. So that's what happened, and that's how the journey began.
So did you? I'm sure you have must have kept in touch after the commercial also. You and Zakir, sir, because so you did you guys get a chance to do a concert together, perform together?
Yeah, so our first collaboration was for the TV ad, and it was recorded at the 4D studio in Century Bazaar in Mumbai, very close to my home. And from there, we went to Agra. My first flight, my first kind of learning experience in the studio, catching a flight for the very first time, then road travel from Delhi to Agra, living in a beautiful hotel, the Taj Hotel, all that, all the wonderful things of life was introduced to me by him, by Zakir Bhai. And then we were in Agra for 4 days, where the iconic advertisement was shot. And in those days, it took about 4 days to shoot a 30-second advertisement and then time for post production and all that. So we were there for 4 days, and that was my initial experience of just being in his presence, just learning so much, just being around him. So he's immortal, and just being in his presence was a talim, as they say in Urdu. Talim is learning, learning experience. So I deeply cherish all those memories, and it's deeply etched in my heart. The experience of uh, that entire TV commercial, which actually turned out to be one of the most long running TV commercials in the history of Indian television, apparently. And I've been always told by the media that that was the longest ad people watched on TV,
Wah
Zakir
Taj.
Bhai and myself. So I feel deeply blessed to be chosen for it, and then to get so much recognition through it.
So the ad played a key role, would you say? So you
Yeah, I would
started.
think it was. I think it was one of the game changers in my life.
Okay.
And as I told you, I was already studying. My tabla talim training was under Ustad Rakha, and then just being in presence of Zakir Bhai. So as I learned, and I mean, I probably kept doing well for myself. There were times where Zakir Bhai also invited me to perform with him on stage. So there were several concerts in Mumbai, Bangalore, Baroda, Ahmedabad, in that Aurangabad, that I performed with him as a young teenager. And I also performed with him a few years ago at the NCPA, the Tata Theatre, for this very concept called Adi Anand, which is based on the Guru Shishya Parampara.
Okay.
And I was, I think, the first to be featured under that whole series.
So since you've been taught by both Ustad Allah Rakha Khan and Zakir Hussain himself, could you share some anecdotes of how they were as teachers, as gurus to you?
The most beautiful part of the teachings, or the talim, was just being in their presence, because Ustad Allah Rakha was totally immersed in tabla and teaching and training, and he would breathe, sleep, and dream tabla. And just being around, it was just sitting across him, and then just learning all these compositions that he was composing right there on the spot, on in impromptu. And I had to be able to absorb all that, imbibe all that on the fly, and memorize them, and then play them for him the next day. So that was the training that I would have with Ustad Allah Rakha. And with Zakir Bhai, it was life lessons. How to record in a studio, how to play in a concert, how to place a mic, how to listen to the monitors, how to listen to the headphones. All the practical knowledge that we need as a performer. And then just watching him play different genres of music, different settings of musicians, different combinations of artists on stage, and different just different the whole different vibe that happened for every event and every concert was a learning experience for me. And then just learning about life, how to be kind to people, how to be sensitive, how to be caring, how to make sure you really value your audience, and how you seek blessings from people, is what I really learned from both of them, actually.
Coming to you, sir, you were a child prodigy yourself. I was reading that your interest in music began when you were 2 years old. Am I right?
That's right. I was drawn to the tabla when I was about 1.5 years old, and my aunt sings, and there was a tabla accompanist who would come. I used to call him Godbole Azoba. Azoba means grandfather, and he would be playing with her, and I would be so drawn to it at my nana's home, where she would be singing, and he would be playing, and I was able to absorb all those those thekas, those rhythmic cycles, and kind of remember them, recollect, and kind of reproduce them. Anytime they were singing, I was able to count the beats and stuff. So that's when my parents realized that I was born with an innate talent.
Learning any Indian classical music, be it Indian classical music or Indian classical dance, it's people feel that it's a very rare thing to do. Not everybody is drawn to it. Not everybody who starts to learn it pursues it later in life. So, do you feel that since you began your journey as a musician, and now is there a difference of the number of people coming to pursue their passion in
Well,
Indian
I
classical
think,
music?
oh, absolutely. I think there has been a sea change in the whole, field of arts and music in the last 25 years. Thanks to my gurus and other gurus in other streams of music and instruments, that they have epitomized the whole whole representation of these instruments and the arts itself. So I think a lot of youngsters have, like me, have then gathered mustered courage to say that, okay, there is possibility of doing this as a profession, as a livelihood, making decent money, and then living comfortably.
Sir, as I've been reading, that tabla was traditionally not really seen as a solo instrument. It's always seen as something which is paired with other instruments like the sitar. So, do you feel that there is a role of Zakir Hussain in
Oh,
introducing
absolutely.
that?
Oh, absolutely, undoubtedly, unparalleled contribution. Starting with Ustad Rakha, who toured with Pandit Ravi Shankar ji for decades, and they both kind of put our Indian music on the world map. And then Zakir Bhai, with his Western collaborations and Shakti and all that, kind of revolutionized the whole face of Indian drumming and Indian music. So, his contribution is colossal and unparalleled and unprecedented.
Any future projects you're seeing right now?
Oh yeah, I've been working on multiple ones. I have a band in Los Angeles called the Renaissance Heart. Features multiple Grammy-winning opera singer called Hila Plitman, and a guitar virtuoso and composer Shea Welsh. So we came out with our album last year, and we are working on another couple of pieces and singles as we speak. And also, I'm working on a different, completely different new genre of music, which is kind of semi-electronic, with tabla electronics and also traditional tabla playing, with amazing composer, performer, and producer called Joel Scherer, who I was fortunate to meet during my touring with the great A.R. Rahman ji. And ARG introduced us during the tour. And 10 years later, or almost 14 years later, now we are working on an album together for the first time.
So, sir, since you've worked with Zakir Hussain, you've been taught by him and his father. Any personal anecdotes you want to share with us?
And so I said, should I be studying? We have to take arts, science, or commerce in those days, go to college. So I said, should I be doing arts or commerce, or what do you recommend? And he said, I think you're going to do very well for yourself, and you're going to make lots of money. So I think you should study commerce because you should know how to manage your money. That's what he said. And then that's why I took up commerce, and then I went to Sydenham College.